What's going on, everybody? Fantasy Football University Live Week 5. I am streaming on multiple devices. Unfortunately, TikTok is not allowing me to multi-stream today. So I'm going to be looking back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So if you guys, during this feed, if you guys can please drop your comments for your start sit questions Today we will be going over the live active inactive report, some big news this week, and some information that will basically be dropping through this content for the next couple minutes. And then we'll be getting into some of your start sit questions. I have a couple of questions that are already lined up on different platforms already. But just remember, for you guys, if you were to ask any questions, just make sure you ask the questions in relevance to if it's a quarterback, 6 points per, 6 points per passing touchdown, 4 points per passing touchdown questions. Same thing goes with PPR, half point PPR, or standard 0 points per reception. So ask those questions. We'll give you the information as we get through this. But we're going to start with basically the report. Little update: Brock Bowers is leaning to not playing, and about 54 minutes ago, it looks like he is not playing today. So in our Billy and I, we have obviously we're in our big money league where we have Brock Bowers. We got him in the third round as a steal there, though we thought. And it didn't really kind of pan out right now to what we anticipated. So we're probably going to have to lean to make a big decision this week and see what we're going to have to, line up with that. But so Brock Bowers is out. Bucky Irving is out as well, too. He's going to probably miss a couple of weeks. So that is a big thing right there. And I apologize for all of our followers that felt a certain way about me saying he is the BOOTY word, but I don't want to get roasted on that again. But it's okay. Fire up your Rashid White, and Mr. Tucker in the backfield can be a nice one over there. Taysom Hill has been activated. He's likely going to play this week. I just hope that he's not going to be like Isaiah Likely, that he didn't really pan out too well last week. Tyjae Spears is active and is going to play this week, so he was inactive last week. He is back. He's in the field, so he'll be out there. Jaden Daniels is set to play this week, so hopefully, it is a bounce back week for that Commander offense. So especially with the heel, I do feel pretty good about Deebo Samuel doing well this week. Now we're going to get into basically the inactive report right now, the as is where we are currently situation. So currently right now, 9:30 game is still underway. From the last time I looked, it was 17-14 Cleveland, and I did take Cleveland on the underdog there. So hopefully they pull it through or they cover the spread. But there wasn't any big noticeable missing piece of the link there during that period of time. So, but it's all right. Let's move on to the 1 o'clock slate. So we got Denver and Philadelphia. Big game right here. Right now, Jaleel McLaughlin is only out. That is a name that's specifically there. But again, you were not anticipating to start Jaleel McLaughlin this week. On the Philadelphia side of the ball, nothing crazy that's going to be specifically fantasy relevant. The Kobe Dean is out this week on the defensive side. But I anticipate Philadelphia's defense and Denver's defense to play fairly decent this week. But again, I probably wouldn't start either one of them unless you really feel like you have to. But I would lean to probably not doing so. On the next slate of games, we have Dallas and the Jets. Dallas on that side, Kayvon Turpin is out. CeeDee Lamb is out. Miles Sanders is out. So there are a couple key players. Obviously, we knew CeeDee Lamb was going to be out, but Turpin was not anticipated to be out this week, early in the week. He is inactive. So I really feel good about some of the other pass catchers on that offense. Obviously, Pickens should have a decent day, but there are some other really key focal point offensive players that you really can plug in potentially this week if need be with the buys. Then we go on the Jet side. Nothing crazy on the Jet side right now. Stone Smart right now is the only atypical person that is out there on the tight end at landscape, but he is, your third tight end on that offense. Outside of that, seems pretty clear. Then we have the Las Vegas Raiders against the Indianapolis Colts at 1 o'clock in Indianapolis. Nothing crazy. Actually, I mean, obviously you have Brock Bowers, as we discussed. He's out. He's inactive this week. So that's a big loss right there. But outside of that, there's really nothing crazy. Michael Mayer is out as well too. So you're talking about the third string tight end at this point. On the Indianapolis side, Alec Pierce is out. Tyler Goodson is out. Kenny Moore is out again. Riley Leonard is out. So there is some significant defensive pieces that are out this week. So I'd be a little weary about starting my defense there, just because this could be a flaky game back and forth. I probably would steer away from playing Indianapolis because of those key losses there. Next game, Miami, Carolina. Miami side, Jalen Wright is out, and Cedric Wilson is out this week. On the Carolina side, Chuba Hubbard was a big loss this week. Towards the end of the week, he was basically declared out. So Mr. Rico Dowdle, fire him up. I think this is a really nice matchup for him. He's going to get some pass catches in the backfield, and it's going to be a really nice opportunity for him to score some touchdowns. So I said touchdowns plural, but, maybe one, we'll just say. Outside of that, Javian Sanders is out this week. Then we go to the greatest game of the week, New York Giants versus the New Orleans Saints. Big news, like I said earlier, Taysom Hill is active. Now, I don't know how much that means. Is he going to play the same kind of share that Likely did and get 0 points and put up a donut? Or is he going to be a very, very vital focal point of this offense? I mean, I would assume if he's playing, that's the kind of player that he is. He gets bumped in there. So, I could see him playing, obviously as slated as a tight end. He could be playing some quarterback. They really don't have a solidified quarterback. Obviously, Rattler's been fairly decent for them, but get a little creative and utilize Taysom. That's actually one of our players we may be playing in the loss of Bowers this week in our tight end spot, or Isaiah Likely, and it's kind of a little difficult situation, but we'll figure that one out and probably make the right choice. So on the Giants side of the ball, you have Jameis Winston is out, and again Tyrone Tracy is out again. So you're firing up Scatterboot all day long here. On the inactive side, on the New Orleans team side of the ball, you got Trey Palmer is out, which I don't anticipate you guys probably playing Trey Palmer. Nothing else offensively is out, but there is Chase Young is still out again. So this is just becoming a recurring thing with Chase Young. Him being on that defense, it would be very, very valuable, obviously, for him to partake in the defensive snaps. But again, unfortunately, it's not happening to the extent which we assume or want. So that defense is going to be fairly easy to work around. So you're firing up Scatterboot all day long. And I feel pretty good about, some of the pass catchers around there as well, too. Next slate of games, we basically have the Houston Texans and the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. Houston Texans are coming in hot. They need a win. Same thing with Baltimore. Lamar Jackson is out. He's going to be out for the next week, 2 weeks. So this could be he's got a hamstring and he's a mobile quarterback. So it's going to be really difficult for Lamar Jackson to come back at the same speed as he was prior to the beginning of the season. So I do think that the team is going to have to lean on the run game, and Henry is going to be a very, very big vital point of that offense. So you really need to just keep an eye on him, because I know he has been really disappointing this entire season so far. But in order for them to basically regain respect for the league at this point, they need Henry to step up a little bit. So I anticipate him having anywhere from 15 to 18 touches this week. So let's see what happens. And, statistically through the years, he's been very, very good against the Houston Texans. Texans defense, they've been playing really well, but they've been bending at times as well too. Nothing significant on the offensive side that's showing. Some defensive players are inactive, but nothing significant for us to worry about. Basically, any type of craziness on either side of the ball there. Let's move to the first 4 o'clock game. We have Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Seattle Seahawks. Tampa Bay, you have Mike Evans out, which we knew about. Bucky Irving out, which was obviously declared a little while ago. So again, Rashid White, I think, is going to have a good day, but I think it's going to be split carries. Even though it's saying that White is going to take the predominant area of the carries, I anticipate to see Tucker in there and maybe vulture a touchdown or two. On the Seattle side of the ball, Demarcus Lawrence is out on the defensive side. Julian Love is out as well too, and Mr. Witherspoon is out as well too. So Seattle's defense is kind of broken up right now with those losses. So it could be a nice back and forth game. We'll see. It could be a nice opportunity to really start some of those key vocal points of those offenses. Obviously Emeka Egbuka is a great start. I think his talents are gonna start dissipating in a little bit because you're gonna have all these other wide receivers coming back and all these pass catchers. There's only one ball, so Baker is gonna be a really, really hyper opportunity week in week out quarterback, but it's gonna be a crapshoot when it comes down to those wide receivers catching the ball. It's gonna be tough. So this is a good week for Emeka Egbuka, but as the season goes on, I think that's going to start dissipating a little bit. Just a little break off of this real quick, and then we'll get to the Titans and Cardinals game. But if you guys can please share, subscribe. We are streaming on all different platforms currently right now. Like I said, unfortunately, TikTok was not able to stream with YouTube, so I'm kind of doing a multi-stream within a multi-stream right now. If you guys would like to comment your start-sit questions, you guys are more than welcome to. I'll answer some of them. I have a couple on the board right over here right now. But after we go through the actives, inactives list, I'll be answering some of the start-sit questions, and we'll take it from there. But again, if you could subscribe to our YouTube channel. We drop content every single week, anywhere from 2 to 3 videos a week. Very, very thorough information for you guys to enjoy. Back to it, we got the Titans and the Cardinals. On the Titans side of the ball, nothing significant as of right now. Again, this is the 4 o'clock game, so we're not really too sure about what's going to happen here. And then on the Arizona side of the ball, nothing significant as well too. Let's move on to the Commanders and the Chargers game. Washington, Noah Brown is out, and also Terry McLaurin is inactive as well. So fire up Deebo Samuel. You got Luke McCaffrey over there. You got Zach Ertz. All those guys. I think in a deep league, Luke McCaffrey could be a decent spot start potentially based on the value of what you got out there. Especially with the buys as well too. But again, something can happen obviously with Deebo with the heel in the middle of the game. They could be slowing him out a little bit. I don't know, but this is in LA. Nothing on the LA side of the ball that's showing any type of inactives as of right now. Just keep an eyeball on it. If anything does pop up, we will notify you guys immediately. On the Lions and the Bengals side, that's another 425 game right there. Lions side of the ball, nothing significant as of right now that's inactive. On the Cincinnati side of the ball, Shamir Stewart is inactive. That's the rookie defensive tackle. That team needs him. He's clearly not showing up right now. I don't know what's going on over there, but that team needs him on the defense. But he is inactive this week. Also, that team needs a quarterback because there's a lot of fantasy value that is being dropped off and cut off. Let's move to the Sunday night football game, Patriots and the Bills. The Patriots, as of right now, no inactives that are significant. Buffalo side, no inactives that are significant as well, too. That was very easy. On the Chiefs and the Jaguars, this one's going to be a crapshoot right now. We're not going to know until basically later today or early tomorrow. But no inactives on Kansas City and one inactive, Yezer Abdullah, Mr. Linebacker over there, Yezer, is inactive this week. So that's all the inactive report as of right now. Again, everybody keep an eye on what the status is. If we find something that is, if we find something that basically is super relevant to fantasy football, we will drop information live immediately. But if we don't, it's not relevant. So we'll cover all the stuff, as the week goes on. Week 6, after week 5 closes, we'll talk about week 6 on Tuesday. And then, for the waiver wire and everything on Tuesday, and then basically week 6 breakdown and talk, about all the games on Thursday. We'll drop all that content. But last segment, we'll get into the start-sit questions. Again, what I'll do is I'm asking you guys, I have a couple comments here that I'm going to answer, but if you guys have any questions on these feeds, again, drop your comments when it comes down to 4 points per touchdown passing for quarterback, 6 points per touchdown passing for quarterback. Same thing with half point PPR, full point PPR, and standard. Ask away. I'll get to every single question, but we're gonna kind of go through this fairly quick, and because we have about another 10 minutes or less, depending on the situation. So we're gonna start here. Got a question from here. So basically, we have Keenan Coleman, full point PPR, asking for no particular reason. All right, sounds good. Good job. All right, that wasn't a real question. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, so we got another question. Basically, Woody Marks or Rashid White, half point PPR. So Woody Marks is going against the Houston Texans, and Rashid White is going against, as we just discussed, a little bit of a broken defense in Seattle. It is in Seattle. They have the 12th man there. I'd feel a little bit more comfortable starting this week Rashid White. I think Woody Marks is going to get vultured a little bit by Nick Chubb. And so, Nick Chubb is not out of the picture. So I'd probably go Rashid White there. This person updated the question. Cooper Kupp versus Keenan Coleman. Okay, so I would go Cooper Kupp in this situation here. I believe that he's getting the targets consistently week in, week out. Keenan Coleman is not as much, and it's a lot of times it's game script. I think that tonight this is going to turn into a running game situation towards the end, and you're hoping for a big play for Keenan. So I'd go Cooper Kupp there. Next question. Next question is DeMarcado or Michael Carter. All right, so obviously you're asking start or sit on the same team right there, and this is a half point PPR. So I probably in this situation I would lean Michael Carter, to be honest. I think DeMarcado is going to be the pass down guy, but I think Michael Carter is going to be more of the primary running back. One at first and second down, maybe third down, depending on situation. Michael Carter was very successful when he was on the Jets. The Jets obviously drafted Breece Hall, and Michael Carter was gone, so they didn't feel too heavy on him. But so I'd go Michael Carter here with that one. Next question, we have Rashid White or Rico Dowdle. Okay. In this situation, I'd go Rico Dowdle all day long. Doesn't give me a perspective on PPR, half point PPR. I'm assuming that it's probably either or. I'd still go Rico Dowdle there. Michael Carter or TreVeyon Henderson. So I know I chose Michael Carter in the last one, but this one I pretty much have to lean TreVeyon Henderson. I think that in order for them to be competitive, meaning the Patriots, they need to have the running game being a little bit more solidified. I think they need to get Trevion Henderson a little bit more involved, and he's going to get more pass catching opportunities this week. So it's a tough one, but I probably lay Trevion Henderson this week on that one. So Trevion Henderson is my guy. All right, so then I got Justin Fields or Jaden Daniels, 4 points per touchdown. I'm going to go Justin Fields here. They're playing the Cowboys defense. Cowboys are stanky, right? Stanky defense, Mr. Shaq Daddy. I see you right there. Um, so, uh, yeah, I'd go Justin Fields this week over Jaden Daniels. It'd be tough, but, based on coming back from an injury, you don't know if you're going to get the ground yardage, especially in a 4 points per touchdown. Justin Fields could get a rushing touchdown. It could be a good opportunity for him. Next game, another one. Justin Fields or Dak Prescott, 6 points per touchdown. I'm still rolling Justin Fields, I think here. So I think both sides of the ball, they're both going to get pretty equal to touchdowns, and I think it's going to be a very competitive game. But I think Justin Fields with his legs, he's going to get more opportunity on the ground, which results in more fantasy points. Next one is Deebo Samuel or Chris Godwin, full point PPR. I'm going Deebo with McLaurin out. I feel like he's going to be the most hyper-targeted player, so I have to lean there. Chris Godwin is still being weaned back into the offense, though he could have a good game, especially with going against Seahawks with not having having a little bit of a decimated defense there. They've still been playing good. Don't get me wrong, but I would go Deebo here. Chase Brown or Woody Marks, standard. Yeah, that's a tough one, but I'm probably going to go Woody Marks here. I think he has a little bit more opportunity to be successful on the ground against the Ravens. And it being a standard league, no PPR, I would probably go Woody Marks over Chase Brown here because that offense is not really rolling too much in Cincinnati. I hope it does, though. I hope it changes. Darren Waller or Juwan Johnson. So Darren Waller is very intriguing here. Juwan Johnson, against the Giants defense, it's been fairly decent with the tight ends, fairly decent. If you're looking for upside at the tight ends position and you really want a boom play, I'd probably go Waller. But if you want a consistency play, I'd probably go Juwan Johnson. He's probably going to score a touchdown this week. Both guys may score a touchdown this week. I go Juwan Johnson this week and this is a full point PPR. Full point PPR. I go Juwan Johnson. Last question I got here, unless somebody pops one up, but last question is Rico Dowdle or David Montgomery, half point per reception. David Montgomery is going against Cincinnati. Rico Dowdle against Miami. I think David Montgomery's offense is going to score a lot more touchdowns this week. So I'm leaning David Montgomery. I think he's going to see the end zone once, at least once. I'd probably put it for an anytime touchdown for him, 100%. It'd be great. I think it's gonna be a nice touchdown right there. So, that's pretty much everything right there. Again, we truly appreciate everybody that tunes into our videos. I apologize for having to go back and forth this week. But hopefully I can clear up this thing with Streamlabs and TikTok. But we are here. We are answering the questions that you guys are asking for. And we appreciate you guys taking the time to, obviously watch our videos. If you can please share and subscribe. Again, we do full videos on YouTube. If you go to Fantasy Football University, you can find us on there. You can even find us on Apple Podcasts. We're on there as well too to make it easier for you guys. You can't watch the videos, but again, if you go to Fantasy Football University on YouTube, click the link in our bio on TikTok. That's another way to get you there. Click that subscribe button. We would truly appreciate it. We're in a growing community. we're looking forward to helping anybody and everybody win your fantasy football league. So again, truly appreciate the time that everybody jumped in, and we're looking to win week 5. All right. Good luck, everybody.